Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to have a little bit of a funner video. The last few have been kind of heavy and I don't want to do heavy all the time. So if you don't know, I have 4 kids. Their ages are all over the place. My oldest is almost 13 and my youngest is 2. So I thought I would do a video about 5 things you can do with your kids that don't involve electronics that we like to do, and hopefully you guys will like it and try it and do it. And I'm sure you've done some of them before, but hey, why not? So the first thing is a dance party, and I don't mean like an actual party. We just call it a dance party. We put on the music, we put it up loud, and we just dance and we have fun and we're silly, and we just let our bodies do what they're gonna do. We don't worry about who's looking and choreographing anything. We just have fun. And I think it's so important because you get a chance to be silly and maybe move your body in a way that you haven't before, and you just don't have to think about it, and just have fun, because life without fun is boring and hard, and we don't need boring and hard all the time. So number 2 is a bubble machine. My youngest daughter, she's 2 now, and she got this for her birthday, and it is amazing. Like, all my kids like it. Even my oldest will go after the bubbles. It's insane. Like, I don't have any bubbles in there, otherwise I might turn it on. But yeah, we kind of do this with our dance parties too. We just put bubbles on and have some fun, and they run after them. Even my dogs try to bite it. So hey, it's fun. Number 3, since it's getting to be that time of year again where it's warm and hot and sunny, water balloons, sprinklers. They have all those cool little sprinklers. You hook them up to your hose and they have like different things going different places. Kids love them. They're entertained for a while, and they go crazy and get to be silly and goofy and have some fun. Number 4 is a bonfire. Not only do you get to have some fun with your kids, you can do s'mores and whatever, but you can also invite your adult friends, and you can have, some adult time and kid time, and everybody gets to have fun. You get to, sit around a fire and talk and laugh and, make some s'mores and maybe eat some watermelon, whatever you like to do. But it's just, in my opinion, it's a lot of fun, and it's easy, and, not a whole lot you have to do for it. Number 5, I kind of feel like it's a lost art, but I love it, and that's reading. And I mean like with a book, not on the Kindle. But yeah, I love books. I love reading books with my kids that challenge their thinking and their perspective. And I also like fun books, and I'm not just all like, ooh, whatever. But some of our favorite ones, I'll show you, that we've been reading lately. This one's called Dear Boy. They also have one that's called Dear Girl, and it's just, like in the boy one, it really talks about like their feelings, and it's okay to have their feelings. And I think that's really important, because I kind of feel like men in general are told they're not supposed to feel things. They're just supposed to shut it off, and it's really unhealthy. And this book kind of just talks about how it's okay. It's okay to have those feelings, and it's okay to work through them and process them, because, one, you're able to let that feeling go, and 2, you're happier, healthier individual. So I think this is really cool. The Dear Girl one kind of talks, it's more like using your voice and having your voice. Like, don't let your light dim type things. They're really cool. Another one is What Should Danny Do? This book is so cool. It's interactive. There's like 36 versions or something, or it's 9 stories in one, sorry. But anyway, you have like this scenario, and there's options for your kids to choose. So, they can choose what we'd consider a good option or a bad option, and you get to see what happens based on the choices they're making. And I think it's so much fun because they can, you know, choose to be really good that day, or they can choose to be really, you know, I don't like using the word bad, but, you know, just kind of making choices that aren't so great, or a mix of both, where they start off making not so great choices, and then by the end, they're realizing that they can make better choices, and those better choices have better consequences. So this is really fun. It's interactive. My 5-year-old loves it. This one is called The Undefeated. It's a really cool book. It's a poem, and the poem kind of talks about people throughout history in a, you know, in a sweet way. And then at the end of the book, it goes, if you want to read, it goes more in depth about the people that the poem is speaking about. And it's a really, really, really good book. And, you know, it kind of gives you an introductory to some influential people of color, you know, throughout history. And that's really cool because some of these people I haven't even heard of. And I think it's important to learn all history, not just what we're taught in school, because we're really not taught a whole lot, and we're only taught kind of what they want us to learn. So it's kind of our job to go beyond this. And this is great for kids because it just talks about a few and you get to learn. And yeah, and the pictures are gorgeous, and yeah, like, and strong and gorgeous, and they're great. And now that I'm losing the cover, we also just finished this. I don't think it has a pun. It's a series. It's the Kane Chronicles. There's 3 books in all. It's written by the same author that did the Percy Jackson one. So if you kind of like that fantasy, you know, kind of, well, this is based on Egyptian mythology, versus I believe it's Greek with Percy Jackson. But it's really fun. I really enjoyed it. I think I was more excited to read every day than my kids were, but hey, you know, whatever. It's for both of us, right? And last but not least, we actually haven't finished this book yet, but it's called Look Both Ways, A Tale Told in 10 Blocks, and it's written by Jason Reynolds. And it's basically, each chapter is a story or a block, and it just talks about, you know, the different struggles that the kids are facing. And, you know, it gives you a different perspective on perhaps why kids are acting out, or, you know, breaking the law, or, you know, doing things that we'd consider bad or not great choices. And, you know, it just kind of gives you a different perspective and empathy for these kids and the things they're going through. And, you know, just makes you realize that sometimes the choices people are making aren't because they want to, but because they have to. And I think it's really important to understand why people are doing what they're doing, because generally people are not bad people. They're doing things for a reason. And when we can find that reason, we can be more empathetic and we can help them. So yeah, it's kind of fun. And yeah, but anyhow, I think that, you know, reading with your kids is really cool. And that's the only thing I think I've really enjoyed about schools closing is that I've gotten to pick the books that I want to read with my kids, and we get to have discussions and things like that, you know, with them. More so my older ones, like my 9 and almost 13-year-old, more so than the little ones. But I think it's good for little kids to be exposed to those things too, because even though they're not having those conversations, they're still thinking about it, and that's so important. But yeah, those are just some of the books that we're reading. I think some of the next ones we're reading Esperanza Rising. My oldest is really interested in like World War II and the different wars. So we're going to read In Harm's Way, which I read in high school, I think. And I loved that book. It was, I can't think of the ship off the hand, but it was about one of the ships that went down and the crew members that survived the sinking of the ship, what they went through. And even the ones that did survive, not all of them did. And it's just really, it's heart-wrenching, but it's a really good story, and I love it. And I can't wait to read it with him. He's going to be excited. So anyway, I could talk about reading all freaking day, but those are those 5 things that I think are super fun and don't involve electronics, unless you consider like a bubble machine electronic because it has batteries, but they're not in front of a TV or playing video games. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just think there needs to be balance in life. So anyhow, that's all I got for today. I hope y'all have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.